Good morning, everyone. This is Katie Novotny calling in from Premier Marketing. First off, I want to thank you for joining us this morning. I know it's a Friday, it's Cinco de Mayo, and also Kentucky Derby weekend. So, no, there's a lot of things going on out there. So, I really appreciate the time that everybody is taking today. Today, we are thrilled to be discussing disability insurance. I'm getting more calls than ever regarding paycheck protection, income protection, however you would like to phrase it. But I think right now, there is so much opportunity out there, but there's also a lot of questions regarding the industry and the products and solutions we have. So today we have Jeff McClendon from Assurity, and he's going to clear up some of those questions, address some of the opportunities, and also give us some ideas on some sales trends. So with that, Jeff, you ready to take it away?
Wonderful. Well, good morning. Good morning, everyone. And Katie, thank you so much for setting this up, and thank you all for attending. So I'm going to jump right into this. I always like to start off by telling you a little bit about the company that I represent. It is an impressive story, and it actually is going to resonate within this presentation. But Assurity is a 132-year-old company, and the reason I mention it is because the first policies that we ever issued were disability income. So it's in our DNA. This is something we've been doing all along. And I think what you're going to find today is hopefully I can provide you some ideas, some sales ideas, opportunities, things to go after, typical, some occupations and such that we're seeing lift in that can be helpful for you. So Assurity is an A- rated company, which is an excellent rating by AM Best. And we are a certified B Corporation. And what certified B Corp is, and Katie and I have talked about this, is we put the people, the community, and the planet at the same level that we do profit. So when we're, determining the paper to print our policies on, chemicals to use in the building, things like that, we have to take that into consideration with everything that we do. We're very proud of that certified B Corp designation. So diving into it here, there's no secret here. Obviously, we've seen these statistics many, many years in a row where, 7 in 10 Americans are going to struggle, have that financial pinch if they don't have an income, if they're not getting a paycheck for, a couple weeks, a month or more. And so I think disability income is a product that needs to be talked about more. And that's what I'm hoping to share with you today. So I always like to talk about COVID. And it sounds a little odd, but believe it or not, there were some significant positives that came out of COVID. Katie and I have talked about technology and how technology has helped, specifically in the disability income space, being able to go into a quote and apply and get a quick decision on a disability income policy, literally in a matter of minutes sometimes. And so the process has become easier, but that's honestly because coming out of COVID, insurance companies had to embrace technology in order to allow you all in the field that are out there selling insurance products to continue to do business. So what we're seeing coming out of it is not only better technology to make your lives easier, but from a consumer standpoint, I think consumers today are more in tune with the fact that, oh gosh, if we ever went through this again, what am I going to do to protect my income, right? I was out of work for a period of time due to COVID. How do I replace that? What if I become disabled? I mean, there's so many different things that come to mind with consumers today. So a short-term disability can have a huge impact, of course, on an individual and a family. This one kind of surprises me. The average duration of a disability is almost 3 years. And almost 70% of folks that are disabled don't have any sort of long-term disability insurance. So the market is prime, the opportunity is prime. And the first idea that I will throw out at you is, we're entering the heaviest buying season in the real estate market. So, typically May through August, so about the next 100 days, is the busiest home buying season of the year. And consumers out there typically are going to think about, term insurance to protect their mortgage. Well, what they're not considering is if they become disabled, who's going to pay that? Who's going to pay that mortgage? What happens if you become disabled and don't have insurance to protect your paycheck? Who's going to pay that mortgage? And keep your family safe and sound in the home. And disability is a great, great solution for that. So I have advisors that I work with that work really close with real estate agents, mortgage brokers. Those types of folks are great lead sources to be able to go in there and meet with those clients and offer them not only insurance products, but disability, and show them how a DI policy can allow them to continue to pay their mortgage if they become disabled. This is one that I always like to talk about, and it's no joke. 2 out of 3 American bankruptcies are tied to medical debt. It continues to be the #1 cause of bankruptcy in the United States. And it's unfortunate when you consider high deductible healthcare plans. Everybody's deductibles are going up. So it's costing us more out of pocket for our medical insurance. And it's leading to more and more bankruptcies on an annual basis. So disability insurance can actually provide a solution to prevent them from having to file bankruptcy and provide a monthly or a weekly income to them if they do become disabled. So what I'm going to share with you next is the 2 opportunities with Assurity. And when I share these, I'm going to give you ideas, things that I'm seeing from my view, things that Katie and I are seeing in the DI space, and hopefully generate some opportunities for you out there. But with our income protection product, and this is a short-term individual disability product. I think we're the only carrier out there still today that offers an individual short-term DI product. And it does have the accident and sickness or accident-only options. So keep that in mind. Obviously, the pricing is going to be different. Accident-only is going to be the cheaper alternative or cheaper option. But one of the interesting things that we're seeing, again, coming out of COVID is folks that typically don't have access to disability insurance products through their employer, and people that are earning incomes from multiple places. And Katie, I think you and I have chatted about before these gig workers, right? They may have a part-time job working at an auto parts store. They may be doing social media on the side, earning an income there, doing stuff on YouTube. So they have an income coming from multiple places. And the beautiful thing about Assurity and our experience in the DI space is we can actually take all of those incomes, combine them together to be able to determine the maximum amount of DI coverage that we can provide. The cool thing about our short-term DI product is it does pay out on a weekly basis versus monthly. And it is no income verification and fully non-med. So it's a fabulous product, really designed for those folks that don't have access to a short-term DI through their employer. And we make a very, very awesome platform called Quick Start that allows you to go from quote to application to instant decision, literally in a matter of minutes. Target markets for income protection, where I'm seeing this product really, really work, the real estate market, estheticians, beauticians, barbers, again, those occupations that typically aren't going to have access to corporate benefits. Short-term DI is a beautiful solution for them, again, because it will provide that monthly benefit if they do become disabled. That childbirth benefit, probably one of the most popular questions that we get. And I want to make this very clear because it is an awesome benefit, but I think it works a little different than what most people would think. So our built-in childbirth benefit will pay a one-time lump sum of up to $500 upon the birth of a child. So this short-term DI product is not going to provide them a weekly benefit when they're pregnant if they're out on maternity leave. If they become disabled, fully disabled because of pregnancy, and they suffice their elimination period, then absolutely it would kick in. But the childbirth benefit is up to $500. All we need is a copy of the birth certificate and notification, and we would send out that check. Stay-at-home spouse, again, another demographic that typically is not going to have the opportunity to have disability coverage. Assurity will actually consider offering on stay-at-home spouses. And the cool thing about it is with this built-in rider, you have, let's say the wife is the breadwinner. She's the one that's out there working the 8 to 5, earning the income. And the father is a stay-at-home dad. He's taking care of the kids, not earning an income. If something were to happen to him and he becomes disabled, that family can be in trouble. They got to replace childcare and make all those adjustments. What Assurity does is with that stay-at-home spouse rider is be able to offer a weekly benefit in the event that that stay-at-home spouse does become disabled. So we talked a little bit about the short-term DI space. And again, those occupations that typically aren't going to have access to those corporate benefits is really the prime market there in a very quick and easy process. So we'll transition over to a product that we've had on the books for quite a few years, a product that sells very, very well in the market, priced very well, and that is our Century Plus product. So this is long-term, meaning the minimum benefit period for this is 5 years. Whereas short-term goes 1 to 2 years, the Century Plus long-term can go out to 5 years and beyond. Century Plus is a great product. Long-term disability is a great product for really two different groups of people. Those that don't have DI coverage, obviously, but another opportunity that we see is government employees, different occupations that have disability, but maybe they don't have disability that covers 60 to 67% of their income, that is pretty typical. So Assurity has the ability to go in, assess those, and make an offer on adding additional DI coverage. So even though somebody does have enforced DI, I would suggest that you ask those questions about what is your benefit period, what is your elimination period, and that'll help us determine if we can layer on some additional coverage there. From a pricing standpoint, again, Assurity is at the top of the spreadsheet, if you will, from a pricing standpoint. But again, where we really excel is making it easy for you to do business and do DI business. And that includes offering long-term disability up to $5,000 a month with no medical exams, and up to $4,000 a month with no financial justification. So we're not going to be asking for tax forms, W-2s. We're not going to be asking for that stuff. We want to streamline this process, get your clients covered with disability coverage, and move on to the next one. Opportunities here. Why does Assurity kind of stand apart from some of our competition? Obviously, because of those non-med limits. And the reason I mention it is the easier that we can make it on consumers and you all as advisors out there in the field, the more likely it is, right, that we're going to be selling disability income to our clients. And the quicker and easier we can make that process, I think it's going to increase the likelihood that your customers would buy. One thing to keep in mind, the definition of disability. When you look at the definition of disability between carriers, it can differ a little bit. And one of the things that Assurity has, and it's had for quite some time, is an own occupation definition. And what that means is if you can't do the substantial duties of the job that you were hired for, in our mind, you're disabled. And we are going to pay you out that monthly benefit on the long-term disability. Interesting enough, you can still be earning a paycheck from your job. So we're going to pay you. You could still be earning an income from your job, but you do qualify as being fully disabled. That is for the first 2 benefit years. So the first 2 years, we do follow that own occupation definition, and then it would transition over to an NEOC after that period of time. So that is built into both our short-term and our long-term products. Business owners, another great opportunity that we're seeing some lift in. Specifically, Katie, in the small business market, some of these small business owners are struggling to financially provide benefits to their employees, and it's becoming increasingly costly for them. What we're seeing a lot more of is those employers offering disability through Assurity as a solution for them rather than paying for it out of pocket. And the cool thing about it is Assurity is very friendly in the business market. We will actually offer a 15% discount for the life of the policy if a small business owner applies with 3 or more policies at one time. So that 15% discount actually carries throughout the life of the contract. In addition, if any new employees come on board, those employees would get a 15% discount. Great idea there in that small business arena to keep that in mind, being able to offer additional benefits that maybe that small business owner does not want to provide for their employees. Occupations, we kind of talked about realtors. I will mention the medical profession. We've seen a substantial increase in disability applications for specifically nurses. Assurity will assess nurses as full-time at 24 hours a week versus 30 hours a week. So again, a little niche for us that typically would make it difficult for them to get disability coverage. Chiropractors, an occupation that if you have any chiropractors that are clients, it's virtually impossible today to get disability coverage for them. Thankfully, Assurity is in that market, so we can provide DI coverage to chiropractors. Last but not least, those first responders, police, fire, EMS, those first responders, if you have any of them as clients or you have opportunities in the space, the real question to ask is, let's look at your disability benefits and find out, does it include coverage for off-duty? There are some out there that is only going to pay a benefit if you are injured on the job while you're on duty. And that's an opportunity there to go in and say, hey, I can provide you coverage 24/7 on the job and off the job. And by the way, it is portable. So if you decide to leave the department, you take that coverage with you. Last but not least, I wanted to say a big thank you not only to Premier and Katie, but for you all. Thank you for your attendance today. Hopefully I've tossed some ideas out to you that's getting you thinking about customers to interact with, to reach out to. Any questions out there, please feel free to reach out to Katie and her team at Premier, and they will be happy to assist. So with that, Katie, I will hand it back to you.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff. I really appreciate it. And thank you for all of you that are typing in these questions. We're going to take a couple of these. See, I think we have a little bit of time. Is that all right, Jeff?
Yeah, let's
do it. First question, is list bill available?
It is. List bill is available. We make it pretty easy to do as well.
Okay, now another one is regarding military retirees.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any opportunity to utilize these Assurity products with those type of clients?
Yes, we are very friendly to the military, and a retiree, as long as they are age 60 or under, we would absolutely be happy to offer them in disability coverage.
Perfect. Another one is the state availability. Are there any states in which you do not offer these products?
Yes, Century Plus, so our long-term is going to be available pretty much in every state. I'm not aware of any state that has not approved the long-term. The short-term, which has only been in the market about a year and a half or so, I do believe there are a few, mainly in the Northeast, that haven't approved. I don't have that approval list in front of me, though, unfortunately.
We can send those out as well.
Yep.
Another question that was typed in, can you please go over the age availability on these one more time?
Yeah, absolutely. It's age 18 to 60. So our disability products are available up to age 60.
Perfect. Other than that, I think that we've handled all the questions for now. As always, any additional questions, please feel free to give me a call. If I don't know the answer off the top of my head, I am sure that Jeff is more than happy to get on the phone with us and walk through something. So,
absolutely. I love this stuff. Yeah, so feel free to reach out anytime.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you all for your attendance today. I really appreciate it. And Jeff, as always, it's our pleasure, and we look forward to more opportunities and inquiries in the future. So with that, everyone have a great weekend, and we will talk soon.